The global COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated massive migration to digital technologies, but it also changed our attitude and made us understand that we have to accept machine learning, AI, robotics, and automation at once. The World Economic Forum estimates that 70% of new value created in the economy over the next decade will be based on digitally enabled platform business models. The data economy is changing the competitive landscape, opening new opportunities for market power and economic gains. Let's hear the first-hand experience from a company established almost 2 centuries ago. How they cope with all the changes. We'll hear from Ksenija Karic, Country General Manager at Schneider Electric, Serbia and Montenegro. Ksenija, welcome to the DSC.
Hello, hello from my side, and thank you for this warm welcoming.
When pandemic started last spring, we had about 8 weeks to bridge the 5-year digital gap or digital lagging, however do you want to call it. Was it too fast or was it timely? What would you say?
Oh, okay. So I have repeated this story, but I will repeat once again for you. It was actually my personal story, meeting the pandemic and meeting actually a Schneider. So I will give my own example how it was for me and for the company as well. So actually my first day at work was literally 16th of March when the shutdown of the country and when we went into lockdown was in the company. So I came, I took my laptop, and I met several colleagues with the masks, so we didn't meet each other in person, and we said we go 100% from home, so online. So I would say that for me it was very stressful, but for Schneider Electric it was not. They were actually very ready. And first 2.5 months, we didn't see each other in person, so I didn't even met my management team. I was managing the company of 1,300 people without knowing my management team, without knowing them. I knew the business, I knew the market, but I didn't know what to expect, how this will, what outcomes will come, you know, what stress situation we will have. But we were ready, first of all, and we were prepared. Our company prepared us. First several weeks, I was really every night studying on the internet how to use my management skills on Teams meetings. So I was really reading a lot. So LinkedIn and all the other Harvard Business Review really helped me in that. So I had a lot of anxiety on that, but at the end of the day, we really pulled it through. And even with the business, so we had in the 2020, we had even a very stable business. And even we showed the growth in our turnaround, and the people and the company were ready. So the pandemic really brought us tremendous change. You know, in the energy branch, we were talking about energy efficiency and digitalization over last 10 years. But, you know, wherever you go, you are saying that, but they were saying to us, okay, when it comes, you will come back to us, so in 10 years from now. But really, pandemic and COVID really brought digitalization much faster. So we are now talking about data, and believe me, if pandemic didn't happen, this would be probably a topic of 2025 or 26.
So what were your customers saying? Were they complaining, oh, this is too fast for us, or you help them to, you know, overcome that?
Yeah, of course they're complaining now, but they're aware what could happen if something like this again happens, if they cannot manage their companies and their operations from home or from any other locations. So even though we in the company, we had like 1 day a week working from home, we were just tackling that topic, so that's what I would bring. So now also we are discussing, should we go on a hybrid model or should we go on the being at the office? Probably the hybrid would be the solution for everyone, but also having all these young people here, so I need to say, so if you ask young generation, and we have like more than 1,000 developers, software developers in Serbia, they would say they want to work full remote. So for them, even hybrid model is like, you know, why would they come? So, but there's several, I don't know, thousands of reasons why they should come, and really, I'm really putting a lot of effort as being in charge of the company, trying to understand how this will change and how this will move our way of doing, even, you know, our life is changed. So how we live our lives, even now, how the kids are going to school, how the students are going to the university. So everything more or less is changed, and it will never go back.
So apart from those changes in the working environment, what sort of transformation we went through in this almost 20 months? I mean, how would you say? I mean, how are we different now? I mean, based on your experience with your clients, with your customers.
Yes, we are very much aware. So the market is ready, and the clients and the customers are ready to discuss. So they are now calling us and asking how you can give us support, how can I manage my operation from other parts, how I can use those softwares and all this data that I have. You know, when we come to the customer, when we go to our customers, so they have several software using different SCADA, different equipment, different vendors. So now they want to have a solution who will collect all this data, and how we can then manage those data. And there it's the time that we go and we really use this consultative selling approach to support them in digitalization. Digitalization is a very long process, actually, and we like to discuss about that. It's a very hot and sexy topic to be digitalized, but it's very long process and very expensive process, and you need to be ready. So I think even though we are living in Eastern Europe, in Serbia as a traditional market with a traditional industry here, we are even here, the companies are ready.
But you use the word sexy about digitalization. Is it sexy anymore? Because now it is an obligation. I mean, you cannot go forward if you're not digitalized.
Yes, you're totally right. And if you are not digitalized, probably your competitors, which the names of the company, which you never heard of, will be a market leader in a few years from now. So that means that all these startups that we are talking, you know, we are a country which is very now famous for its startup about the IT trend, the IT knowledge which comes from Serbia. So that's why even big Schneider decided to have the global hub for software development for automation distributed software. So we are offering from Serbia and exporting the knowledge around the world for automation of ADMS software. That is, we are managing distributions and utilities around the world from Novi Sad. So this can tell you that, oh, yes, you're right, it's not any longer a sexy topic, it's a need. But it's a trend that will stay with us.
But we are still marketing it as sexy because, yes, it's nice. Yeah. It's good for.
Yes, probably in US I wouldn't say, but here, yes, it's still it's a fancy topic even now. You know, when you go to
fancy is a safe word.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so many business leaders are asking, what impact is artificial intelligence going to have on my business? Am I going to understand it anymore? Because I'm having difficulties with understanding my cell phone, my smartphone actually. It is predicting things that I have never thought it will predict. I mean, all this equipment around me is telling me better what should I do than I would know. So when will they start messing with my business? Would I know how to cope with that?
Yes, so it's a hard and difficult one. So I having the same issues. So I'm always challenging myself to learn more. So it means that we first of all need to understand. First of all, we need to accept it. So we cannot escape from that. So we need to find a way to use it. It's really for I would say for the young people. I don't think it's hard. They are already living it, so they are collecting the data and communicating with data much easier than our, let's say, our generation and even older than we are today. But for us, I think we need to find a way how to collect all what we can, so we can optimize our business processes, so we can manage better, and we can save. So the artificial intelligence, digitalization, machine learning, predictive maintenance, everything of these softwares will help you to save money, which is at the end of the day what we are working and how we are managing the companies and the business and the market. We need to save and we need to optimize our process. So it will, at the end of the day, bring us a lot of positive things. It will help us, but on the other side, it will push us to learn, to understand, to have more agility towards the software. So, you know, it was always a funny story when you go to the companies and you're asking for some software, who is dealing with the software? I don't know, you go to IT, so they should know. So IT was always, you know, when you translate that to our Serbian language, so that means IT. So not me, it's not mine, it's not mine, it's yours.
Yeah.
So now when you go and you say it's IT, no, IT is now literally everywhere. And also the software business are really bringing a change to the traditional energy company like Schneider Electric is. So we are now, we actually bought in the COVID time more than 5 software companies which are leaders in artificial intelligence, in predictive maintenance, in IoT. So COVID for us was really a breakthrough to the software, and we are also changing how we do business. So we will become a more and more software technology company.
Now a totally personal question. Would you say for yourself that you are friendly with artificial intelligence? That you're like good friends?
Not really. Not really. Actually, my personal thought is always, you know, I'm afraid who is listening to me over my phone. So I always go to that direction. But I wouldn't say if you ask anyone of these guys here in the audience that they would say the same. I always ask myself, I park a car. This is a good example. I park a car and then I go to some bar and restaurant, and then I see your car is parked, but no one asked. I didn't ask my Shiri to remember where did I park my car. So artificial intelligence in my phone, I'm bringing everywhere with me. So
but that's a good friend, because your artificial intelligence predicts that at some point you will forget where you parked the car. So he wants to stand there for you.
Yeah, probably yes. But I didn't ask for that. So it's always...
So it's stalking you.
Yes, it's stalking me, yes. But, I'm trying to change how I'm seeing things. That's why I'm here. I really want to understand where we are going, and I want to be part of it. So in my opinion, so I was doing a lot of research and reading on the topic, and also it's dealing with the software business on the energy, in the energy. So my guess is that artificial intelligence is a game changer like www.com was, if you ask me.
Yes, but then you have to make this decision, where are we going to invest? Not only for yourself, but also for your customers probably. Where should we invest in this artificial intelligence, machine learning and everything? How do you make that decision? How do you make that advice?
Yes, so we will come to the point of saving. So we always go to our customer and we are trying to explain them that return of investment of those projects and those investments is very fast. So we are talking less than 5 years. So most of the cases. So most of them, when you discuss, they are just saying, I have several softwares, I have several SCADA systems which are collecting something. I can give you several examples. So, for example, in my oil company, so I don't know how many SCADA systems do they have. And now they decided, okay, now we have already modernized our facilities, and now we want to collect all this data, what we have in our SCADA system, and we want to predict when we will have the shutdowns, where we have some crash the equipment, crash of the turbine, crash of the motors. So artificial intelligence and software are helping them to predict when this will happen. And this will save tremendously a lot of money for them, not to have these urgent shutdowns. And you always go in the saving mode. And when you explain them on that way, that they will save money, that they will optimize, even with the manpower, they will optimize the process, and they will save money also on the people. But also on the other side, not to say that the artificial intelligence and data science will shorten the positions where we are living and working today. This is not right. I think that they will bring and open new positions, but we need to go in that direction, and we need to push ourselves that we learn and to adapt and to learn how to live with it.
Can we get an inside information? What is the most exciting thing you're thinking about these days? In business, of course.
Yes, in a business. Most exciting thing is, okay, there are several projects, but we are also thinking where to invest. So on the global companies are really looking for the software startups and where they can see the niche, where they can attract some new companies, some new, I would say, branch knowledge, which is branch-specific knowledge, some niche in the market where you can find, because we have, on the market, it's very hard to get project everywhere, not only in this part of the world, but also in all others. But if you are not a leader, so we are really all the time investigating where we can find some niche, where we can apply some of our software and technologies. For example, now we have a situation in Serbia that energy, in the industrial energy, really went up with the prices, for example. So this really brings us as a potential as being a software and being a Schneider Electric to offer to our customers, to the market, how they can manage electricity, gas, water consumption. So we have really softwares and solutions who are telling you with the predictive maintenance, with the artificial intelligence, who are telling you when is your peak, when you need to, how to optimize your usage of the energy, how you can save money on that. So this is something that is now for us the niche where we see the potential, because moreover, last 10 to 15 years, the energy was not a topic because the electricity price was on the very low level, and no one wanted to discuss even how to monitor and how to manage the consumption of energy.
So what would you say, how much of Schneider Electric's solutions depend now on advanced analytics, on data, on artificial intelligence? I mean, you're a 2-century-old company, and these are the things that are happening in the past, let's say, 10 years.
Yes, you're right. So that means we are changing. So at the moment, I wouldn't say that we are depending, but we are using it. Schneider is one of the first company that I am aware, but we have in our ExCom board members, we have artificial intelligence manager, CEO, so he's sitting with our ExCom members, and we are having also in artificial intelligence global hub, where we are discussing where we want to go. For us, one of the main tasks for Schneider is the topic of sustainability, for sure, and we want to see ourselves as a very green company. And we put some targets for ourselves, first of all, and then also for our sub-suppliers. So I believe that we are going to do that direction, but we are not still depending. But since we are acquiring so many software companies, I believe very soon we will be very much, not to say depending, but we'll use it in a smart way so we can sell our products, sell our softwares, and help the society to manage the consumption of electricity in a much better and smarter way.
So if I ask you, comparing, I mean, you're not in Schneider Electric for 10 years, but if you compare the company with what was 10 years ago, I mean, how different it is?
Totally different. Totally different.
In what sense?
In the sense how we do business, it's much of the, like my colleague from SECO was saying, we are a very globalized company. We are working, for example, our CEO is sitting in Hong Kong, so it's a French guy, but he lives and sits in Hong Kong. We have global hubs and global positions all around the world. We are actually on the stock. We went like I think in 2 years double acquiring those software companies. So we have really our stock went like crazy during this 1.5 years. We have acquired very strong American OSI soft, which is really bringing us the knowledge of the specific niche in power generation and producing electricity, and so all of this is, if you ask me, the Schneider is not any longer a traditional electrical producer company. It is more like technological software in energy. So we need to find a way to save for this world energy, and I think we are the first and maybe the last generation who can do something about it.
Yes, and what about the company culture? I mean, how's that changed? I mean, how would you describe it?
It's if you ask me, like 10 years ago, it was very traditional. So all of these guys were from electrical engineering university, knowing how to sell and how to install substation and so on. So now we are not any longer discussing about pure equipment. So we are discussing about solution, about optimizing your process, about consultative, as I said, consultative approach towards the customer. We need to understand your needs, your process, so we can give you the support and give you the solution, what is needed for you. For example, as my colleague said, I am also not an engineer. I have my background is economics, so you need to understand, but you don't have to know in that deep the technology. So you need to understand the need of the market and need of our customer.
Well, you need to understand the numbers. I mean, those
yes,
are
numbers
in
as well,
the business sheets, which are the important ones.
Yes.
And when we talk about that, I know that you love to talk about sustainability, but let's say as your customer, I'd love to talk about efficiency rather. Mm-hmm. So what can you offer in the way of automation and analytics and anything to me to improve my efficiency before we come to the issue of sustainability? Yes.
So efficiency is something which is for us, to say like that, bread and butter. So wherever we go, we need to efficiently save some energy. So for us, this is entry point for every of our customers. We have several references even here in Serbia where we really saved the energy, and at the end of the day we are optimizing their business processes, their production, their facility. So we are managing also, there are several references in Serbia as well where we are managing the business buildings, where we are monitoring them, when we are turning an AC on and off, and so this is the for us is to say bread and butter business. So this is what we do, and I believe the artificial intelligence and data will only help us to really raise this on a higher level of managing your operations. So you can be seated at home, being at home office several days a week, and you can manage your office rental buildings from your mobile, from your laptop, only with the usage of sensors and softwares from Schneider.
We tend to say that data are the oil of 21st century. Well, with oil, it's easy. I mean, you pump it out of the earth, you distill it, and you sell it on the gas pump, so the business model is easy. What is the business model behind the data? I mean, how are we going to extract money from that oil?
Yes, so yes, you're right. To sell oil is very easy, like to sell...
especially these days.
Yes, yes, that's right. So the data are really something that will become oil, and I think it's already in some industry they are. But how we can really use the usage of data, so we need prepared and standardized software solutions so we can understand those data. So we are really, at our customers, we are collecting huge numbers of data. But if we don't have, as I mentioned several times already, if we don't have software-specific knowledge, process-specific knowledge, we cannot do anything about those data. That's why we need knowledge of the process. We need the knowledge of the specific branch, what is the need of that branch, so we can bring those data where they can be used. Otherwise, it's just a sack of data without logically what to do with all those data. So data, if you use the data on the right time, on the right way, this will bring you money back. So this will optimize your process, and this will optimize your costs. So this will bring you immediately money back. So if
how do you help me with that?
What do you mean?
I mean, as the company that's that's now more in the software and analytics and optimization, how do you help me to use my data better?
In a smart way. So I need to know, I need to have software which is dedicated to your specific need, where I can bring you standardized and standardized solutions where I can help you to optimize the process. So this is the
So it is actually, in the past times, you were selling me a hardware or a solution that I just buy and start using it, and if I call you, it would never be for a good reason. I mean, not a nice thing for you. I'm calling you because something is broken, something doesn't work. So it's always an angry call. Yeah. Now, with all these things that you're offering, it is more like basically having a partnership rather than using your services. Yes. So what is this difference in business? Like, I'm offering you my data. Basically, you know me inside and out now. And you're helping me to make some money out of it. So what is the change in your business model as well?
So yes, you're right. It's really a partnership, and it's a journey. So to the point when we were you were saying that we are now we having your data. It's a very long journey where we get to this. But what we can offer is that we analyze your business needs and business potential. What trend you want to have in your company in last 5 years. So it's a journey, and it's always it's a two-way street. So the customers are getting also a lot of support and consultancy from the vendors and from the suppliers, but also on the other side, they're receiving data from the customers. So we are really getting to know our customers very deeply and understanding their business need. And
there's a lot of trust there then.
Yes, actually, yes. And that's why in the process, which takes several years, I think it's very important that you have the right partner who can manage the trust and all the privacy related data what we are getting it from your process.
So how do you establish that? I mean, I believe that you're now speaking on a daily basis with your customers. So how do you establish that relationship of deep trust with their deep data?
So first of all, it comes with the time, and we are in Serbia already working this year. The next year it will be 20 years that we are working. We have really we have more than 30 distributors, partners, licensed partners on the market, which are Serbian companies. So we are really trying to boost even the Serbian economy and Serbian energy sector with our chain of partners. So we are in this process together. So Schneider is bringing you technology and know-how from worldwide, from the world, from global. And the local partners are bringing you the knowledge and the expertise that they are locally here, and they're supporting your business, whatever you have some issues in your production or you have issues in your substation in the network, they're there. So it's a process, and it always, like you said, it was much easier before. You just sell the equipment, and if there is no service contract, you're just happy that you sold, and you don't see each other for next, I don't know, 2-3 years when there is a new need for the new equipment. Nowadays, it's a partnership, and it's really, we need to bring really the best experts, and we need to bring the knowledge and reference cases so they can really trust us that we can manage the project and manage the issues what they have.
You mentioned reference cases. Every new customer, I suppose, would ask you, okay, show me your reference cases and show me some examples where what you're saying is working. So
yes,
what would you tell them?
Yes, I would say as we tackle the efficiency and energy consumption, we are really trying to learn the market, that they need to adapt to those softwares and knowledge and equipment, so they can better save the money and the energy. So we have several, I don't know how many references, but we have really a huge number of references when we really saved energy. We really optimized the process. We really optimized the workplaces, what they have there. And at the end of the day, we like to say that we have really happy customers, and they're always coming back to us because we at the end of the day supporting them in their business needs. So not to go now in the reference cases, but
okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions from the audience? Because I would like to jump on the issue that might be interesting for all of you to return to this startup acquiring by Schneider. What would be the keyword that somebody in this hall who approaches you to speak about their startup should say, or maybe a few keywords that would get you interested, really interested?
Of course, energy. Energy is what we do. So
anything with energy.
Anything with energy, I would say now, because if you ask me the questions like 5 years ago, I would say, we go in the distribution network, we go in the consumption of the buildings and so, but nowadays a lot of things have changed, and everything that goes with the energy and solutions for energy where we can really save. So at the end of the day, we want to save energy. And I think this is a task for all of us, and this is one of the main tasks for Schneider Electric. And this year we actually got awarded to be most sustainable company in the world. We are talking about sustainability already, I would say, 10 years, but now it pays off. We put a lot of tasks on us. We are actually, at the moment, we are building in Novi Sad, the first building, carbon neutral building for our employees. So Schneider is at the moment constructing the building, which will be pure carbon neutral building, the first one, which we had its own microgrid. So we are really investing, and I think that we really want to have the green planet for our kids and to make some change, because otherwise like this, I think that no one would have to impact on that if we don't do.
Any keywords that you want to test with Ksenija? Let me let me ask you about the projects you're doing and see if it's going to gain any interest. Before I go to the final topic. No? Blockchain. Oh, that's a tough one. So if somebody tells you, I have something with blockchain and energy, or just blockchain? Okay, blockchain and energy, startup, Ksenija.
Yeah. I would say I need to investigate because those two words in one I didn't have till now. I need to investigate, but certainly I would come back because, you know, it's if we can bring a blockchain, yes, with energy, maybe somewhere around the world, someone from Schneider is already discussing, but I would go to investigate and I will come back.
So you'll give it a chance. So
yeah.
Good
Why not?
Any other combinations? Or any other words? No, not yet. So they're leaving it for the whole. I mean, once when we finish, they will probably approach you with that. So, but you mentioned more than once sustainability. And you already said a little bit about how does Schneider Electric understand that, but could you give us, a complete picture of your approach to sustainability?
Yes. So, as I said, like 10 years ago, or maybe even more, Schneider started to invest in sustainability, a lot of reporting for our own needs. So we needed to understand where we can really make some change. And we were part of Paris Convention. Now we will also present in Glasgow. So we are one of the few companies in the world that already had our business targets in sustainability. Schneider is also one of the few companies who has a sustainability division. So we have consultants which will come to you and really teach you how you can make your business more sustainable. We really believe that our company by 2030 and 2050, which are some targets where we want it to be purely green. So one of the examples, so if you want to become a sub-supplier of Schneider to suppliers of, I think, nowadays anything, you need to convince us that you're buying green electricity, so that you're using the green electricity where it's possible. So we are really pushing all the sub-suppliers and all the, I would say, microgrid where we are working to push them towards the climate, towards the carbon neutral business, buying the electricity from green. We want to transfer all our car fleet on the electrical car like all other companies, which will also be an issue. Nowadays, you see with the cars, I don't know if we'll be able to manage by 2030, but we will see. It will be an issue, I think, not only for Schneider, but all around the world. We want to really push all our employees to things to recycle all our equipment. Most of our equipment can be recycled. So we are really investing. It costs us a lot of money, but I think it will really pay off for the society. We need to bring to electricity and electricity saving to whole planet. This is one of our tasks, and this we call in Schneider, life is on.
So finally, really my final question, and I'll take the role of investor. Sustainability in green energy, it doesn't seem to be very profitable. Am I wrong? I'm talking about like somebody who wants to invest money and he thinks, well, you know, it's not a big money there.
It will pay off. At the moment, maybe not, but it will pay off because I think the economy, the only way to move is on that direction. And if you are not investing, and if you're not, even look all this, nowadays when we have interviews for one young guy who just graduated on university, for him, it's not only important, is it, I don't know, how much is the salary, what car, what laptop, or so on. So it's more like, I want to live and work in the company with a purpose. So even though that's what I'm saying, maybe now we don't see the payoffs of this, but it will pay off certainly. And I think all the society is moving to that direction, and all the economy is moving to that direction. And I don't think that if you're thinking, okay, I will discuss that in 10 years from now, I think it will be too late, if you ask me.
Okay, the last chance for questions, if you have any. If not, I would like to thank Ksenija Karic, the country manager for Serbia and Montenegro at Schneider Electric. Thank you, Ksenija.
Thank you all.
And okay.